Hey, Elise. Is it just us? You're on mute. There you
You say that's awesome.
go. Yeah, we're pretty early, so
Yeah, well, all the military people
yeah.
on time is late.
It's crazy. I had the opposite because like my reaction was like I'll be the last one to arrive at a birthday party. I'll be the last one to arrive at some sort of like dinner, whatever. And my logic after the military was like, are there any repercussions for being late? No. Is me being late affect anything logistically? No.
No,
Is there an emergency? No. Does it actually matter if I'm later on time? No. Okay, so I'll get there when I get there. And my best friend's in seventh grade. I'll tell him like I'll be there in 30 minutes, and he knows. He knows that that's like anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. And he goes, I don't understand how you were in I'm like, and I explained this to him. I'm like, look, nobody's
revolt.
in danger. It doesn't matter if I'm there on time. It doesn't affect what's going on if I'm there on time. As long as I'm there, that's all that matters.
Right.
And he's like, that's fair. So he knows like when we lift together sometimes I'll tell him 12:30 and he'll roll in around one because I'll
Sure.
just be getting there.
Right. Well, I know I have a friend, and if there's something like we have to be at a place like a concert or whatever, and if I gave her the exact time, like I missed the whole sets of Jackson Brown when we went to a concert, so I have to tell her where it's like a half an hour ahead of
Yeah,
time.
well there's a repercussion if you're not there on time.
Right.
You miss stuff.
Right. Right.
I'm not missing stuff at a 1 year old's birthday party. You know what I
No.
mean? You're not even gonna remember
Exactly.
Sounds like my family.
it.
My brother's fiance, we tell him a certain time and it's usually like 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
Hey Jeanette, I want to say good job. I did the leftover form checks. Good job on your barbell deadlifts.
Thanks.
I'm
Jen
loving
didn't
that
get to mine, so
you're progressing to a barbell on a lot of the main movements. That's awesome.
well my gym has a barbell, a squat rack, so I do deadlifts at on the squat rack.
Um, Noah is currently cleaning out the form check folder, which is good. Um, yeah, I guess since we're in here early, does anybody have any immediate questions off the top of their head that, may or may not be related to form checks or whatever before I roll on over into those?
I put in a really quick one in just a little while ago in the chat, but Nic, I lifted pretty heavy this week on the deadlifts, and my
Mhm.
body started shaking a little bit, and it hasn't fully recovered, and it's been more than 2 days, and I'm still lifting, but I don't feel right. I
I
don't
saw
hurt.
it. I screenshot all the questions that are like
Okay,
pertinent. Um,
I'm not hurting anywhere. I just don't feel right.
when you say you were shaking during the deadlift?
No, this was after, and it's not really, it wasn't like a shake shake. It's just I don't feel quite myself.
Was it heavy deadlifts?
265, heavy for me.
Like I'm talking like effort wise, like
Oh yeah, no, this was a new PR for me at home with the
oh,
barbell.
okay, yeah, you're experiencing some see, I mean your central nervous system dumped most likely. Um, I mean there's a reason in programming why you don't follow up a big heavy deadlift day in training with a heavy squat day or heavy anything else. There's typically a light day and then another heavy day, so there's some reset from that. So yeah, it totally makes sense that you hit a PR and your body's like, what the hell is going on? Because like the first thing, so you know what the yoke carry is, right? On the
Yeah.
back, there's a term we call the yoke flu. because it's the heaviest single lift that we do in strongman or in any strength sport. And I remember the first time I picked and carried 1,000 pounds. Um, I had flu-like symptoms the next 2 days. My body temperature was like 100. Um,
Okay.
it just completely, my CNS was so extremely taxed. I felt like I had a subtle flu coming on. And the first thing to go when your CNS is fatigued is your immune system. So, um, I've gotten
Yeah.
colds, after big contests. I've gotten sick after Worlds just because of you compete, CNS is taxed. Then you get on an airplane, you're crammed in a can with all these other people, you're touching things. I bite my nails. So like I'm just getting sick waiting to happen.
Okay,
Um,
that's kind of good to hear. I was a little bit of a runny nose and I felt a little heady and I
yeah,
thought that at first and then then that part went away, but now I just feel like my knees are weak. But that's fine. I'll just rest up. I mean,
yeah,
my
take a day.
yeah.
No, don't sweat it. You're those things happen with strength training.
Okay.
Uh,
Thanks. Thank you.
how it goes. It is 10 o'clock, so let's see if I have muscle memory to uh
And Nick, before you open form checks, refresh the page just in case, because I just cleaned out some old ones in there. I don't want you to have
okay,
to.
let me refresh here.
Yeah.
All right. Share form checks. What is going on? Why is it doing this? There we go. My computer's just slow. All right. So supported single arm row. Yeah, these are pretty good. I would say get your whatever arm you're rowing with, take the leg and kick it back so you can make sure you row to that belly button trajectory. Um, and you can get your lower back in a much more optimal position versus there's some slight hunch, but if we kick this leg back, so we're in a staggered stance a little bit, it's you'll feel way more support. It'll feel way more natural. Um, Otherwise, those are pretty good. Great rack position. Great rack position, man.
I saw your video on Instagram.
Yeah. Beautiful. You could probably get a touch deeper.
Okay.
So the reason why I say that is we were looking for, if you look on your left side of the video, let's find your bottom. See this line is slightly above the knee.
Mm-hmm.
We want that to be at or slightly below for our depth marker. But
Okay.
otherwise, your front squat looks absolutely awesome.
Okay. Thank
Well
you. I
done.
will try.
This is a good angle. I like this angle for bench. Good. You stopped, you paused. What I want to see here um, is when you come out of the rack and you pause, I want you to take that pause, A, to rebreathe and brace, and B, I want to see you pack your shoulders down into your lats. So think about snapping the bar kind of on a deadlift, and our shoulders come down and back. We're trying to put our shoulder blades down into our back pocket, if that makes sense.
Okay. I think I get it. I'll try.
Okay. Your bar path looks good. You're driving back up towards your face. I want to see you squeezing your butt and think about driving yourself up the bench towards your head with your feet. We want all this tension. So one thing I do with in-person clients is bench press is without saying anything, I'll kind of smack their knees and see if they're all loosey-goosey. Then I know you're not tight generating tension with those legs squeezing your butt. We want every ounce of us tight. Feet gripping the floor, feet screwed in, all of it. With that being said, your bench press doesn't look bad at all. It's if you were to bench press like this the rest of your life with no real intention, you'd be fine. It's a good bench press. But I want better.
Yeah. All right. I will try. I know I didn't have like tension in my legs definitely, so
Okay.
I will
Yeah,
try
let's
next
go
time.
for that full body tension.
All right. Awesome.
Yes, I can see the leg tension already. She screwed herself down into her heels. This is good. Especially from the front. This is really good. I can't see bar path, but from the front, I like the width. If you look at the bottom, her wrists are right over her elbows. She's not too wide. She's not too narrow. She's, in that Goldilocks zone with her grip. Um, it's working for her. So I don't want to change that. From the side, I don't know. Bar path, can't tell from there. But this setup as a whole with this angle looks really good. So good job, Lisa. There we go. She's usually pretty thorough. Look at this slight arch. This is really good. She comes out. Boom. Lats packed. Lisa, I want to see a slightly longer pause coming out of the rack because I want you to have time to pack those lats and rebrace. Brace, pack those lats, then down. Bar path looks great. Bench looks good. She's driving back up towards her face here. So that's really all I got for you right now with your bench, Lisa, is when you come out, I want a pause, brace, pack your lats, press. It should take no more than 2 seconds.
Okay, thank you.
Inverted rows. Good. With those rings, Steffen, you can actually think about when you row, think about pulling them apart, spreading them around your chest, and it should get you some even more back engagement. These aren't bad the way you're doing them. I'd like to see, a nice full range of motion so we get that real big scapular traction, if you will. So we're initiating with our back and finishing with our arms, just like you hear me cue a pull up. Those aren't bad.
Okay.
We can just polish them a little bit.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense?
Yes, makes sense. Thank you.
Cool. Good job. Deadlift PR. Okay. Let's see what we got. Yes. Fantastic, Ian. Knocked over.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful PR. I mean, there was very minimal breaking down. I mean, that was like a very technically sound PR. I mean,
So
look at it. Look at this position, man. Shoulders over the bar, back's where it's supposed to be. As
So the
soon as
one
you
thing I noticed,
drive,
Nick, was just a slight drift to the bar as it came off the floor, and it's like my hips kicked up a little bit.
yep, you
My
can see it
shoulders
right
went over
here.
the bar drifted out a little bit, and
It,
then I pulled it back in.
yeah, you adjusted fine. And then even then that drift was so minimal, your leg drive went right into the bar. You intuitively fixed it, which makes me incredibly happy to see. Um,
Yeah, I'm guessing you've got the audio there, Nick. You could tell I was quite pleased as well.
I do have the audio. Let's hear it. Let's everybody hear it. Nice. He just channeled his inner William Wallace.
Freedom!
Yeah. Bruno, get out of there. Deficits. Okay. Position looks great. I like how your hips accelerate through. Good job. Ian, your deadlifts come a incredibly long way.
Cool. Thanks, Nick.
Well done. Congrats on the PR.
Thanks very much. Going for 180 now.
Let's go.
Nick, I've been working on this. I've been doing all those exercises you told me about.
I'm excited.
I'm working on it. Take a big deep breath, brace, but still a little bit of fold.
It's still you're gonna have a slight hinge on a squat. It's okay. But you realistically, this is your starting position on a squat. We can't, it's so you had good intention here at the beginning. You stacked everything and you were able to do it because the bar is empty. See how you're completely vertical? When you
Yeah,
get with a heavy squat, you won't be able to get into that position the same way.
I
Um,
even lifted my little toe, my big toes, trying to keep it into my heels.
no, this looked really, really good. So it has to happen. Look, you squeezed your back. This is fantastic. I love all this. You're not going to be able to maintain this position because for our hips to track where they need to track, we need to break at the hips first. So this is all really good. Right when you descend, I don't want you to think about descending at the knees first. I want you to think about breaking at your hips and bending your knees at the same time. So you're sitting. There will be some bend. I'm sorry, fold. Why? Because this bar needs to stay over our center. It'll create a line, and it naturally happened. So that bar is center over the middle of your foot here, which is good.
All right. I got one from the front too, so the next one's probably mine
Okay.
as well.
This is a good squat position, Bonnie.
All right.
We can get you a little bit deeper. That will come. That's okay. But we've got you in a really solid squat position. So this is really good.
It's a whole lot better than it was.
Yes. Couldn't agree more. Well done. All right. Let's see the front.
And I noticed that I looked down. I got to keep my head up.
Yeah. We want to stay straight out, nice neutral chin. We might be able to take you a hair wider,
Okay.
like a half foot width on either side. Get those toes pointed out just a little bit more. And I think your width is getting in the way of your hips
Got
slightly.
it.
So if we take you out, I think your hips will be able to track down and sink a little bit lower, and it might feel a little easier to get down there.
All right. Thank you so much. I just keep working at it.
You're doing
I'm trying
great.
to get it. I'm trying to get form before I start adding weight.
That's 100%. You're crushing it. Like I loved everything about that.
All right. Thanks.
Good job. So we elevated Andres's deadlift for position reasons. This is looking really good.
Yeah, I think it looks good now.
So you were a little bit behind the bar.
Okay.
What I mean by that is watch when it first comes off the ground.
Yep.
That bar comes back. So you're a little bit too far back. So if we got your hips up slightly, brought your shoulders ever so slightly forward, look at that bar as it rises. It's coming back, and now it's coming up. But your legs are already in extension. It's because you were out front.
Okay.
So we just need to get you over the bar. Otherwise, the position and the hinge pattern is looking good. This is good progress.
All right. So gotta keep my arms out a little bit, so don't push the bar into me.
That rep was better. What do you mean, keep your arms out?
I mean, because you're saying that the bar is fitting in, like pushing it inside, right? Like,
no, the bar was too far. Your body was behind the bar.
okay.
So shoulders to bar, your shoulders are behind the bar. So as soon as it broke off the ground, it swung towards you.
Got
Just like if you're too far past the bar, when it breaks off the ground, it swings out front.
So I gotta put my like.
You've got to bring your hips up slightly and your shoulders. So if this is your hips, these are your shoulders. It'll do this. So then your drive will be completely vertical.
Yeah. So like lean a little bit forward.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want you leaning forward as in toe heavy. We're just raising our hips to bring our shoulders forward.
Yeah. Lift my butt a little bit. Gotcha.
Yeah, this looks better. Less, it's still doing it, but it's less. So, that the hip position and regarding your lumbar and your flexion and the neutral spine, that's looking really good.
All right, cool. Keep working at it.
Yeah, let's get that position down, and then I think we'll be able to drop some height.
Okay, cool.
These are good. So I reviewed one of hers on the leftovers. She looks to be, the one thing I noticed was she was coming down too abruptly, and we don't want to do that on a box squat. Reason being is when you have 3 sections, you have 2 that will not give and 1 that will. So the 3 sections will be the barbell, your midsection, and the bench. If you come down too hard, the barbell's not going to give, the bench isn't going to give. The only thing that's malleable is the middle section. So if we come down too hard, we create too much compression, and we could tweak something in our back. So I always tell people when you're squatting to a box for depth, there's always some sort of tempo for safety, and so we're getting used to that depth position. Mindy, these are looking better. The control and descent is better. She elevated the plates to get her a little bit more depth. We're still a little high, so we could keep working lower. As you can see, we're our hip to our knees. We'd probably have to do another plate or 2, just because I think that's a high bench. I think that's what's working against you here. But your actual squat in and of itself looks really good. I like your body position. We just need to get you deeper. That's it. I'd like to see you pick your head up, eyes forward. But outside of that, your squat's coming together really nicely. All right, so one thing we were looking for on Amelie's bench was her coming out of rack. She was rushing it. Let's see what she does this week. I like the setup. She's got a nice slight arch. Legs and heels are underneath of her. Better. I want you to come a little bit lower, somewhere between like nipple line and like upper ribs. We don't want you too high on the chest because it spreads you out. So you want to target somewhere around where my mouse is right here. And then you drive back towards your face. But this position is fantastic. Look at that. Glute engagement all day long, leg drive all day long. Feet aren't dancing around. This is awesome. The unrack, still a little fast. Let's watch the unrack again. So you never really stopped. You were thinking. You were like, and then you went. I want you to come out, pump the brakes, snap the bar, then down. I want you to take like a 2-second pause and get your brace and snap the bar. So we see your shoulders. We see these shoulders packed down onto your lats.
Okay.
That's the last element for your what is pretty good bench position. You've got all the other things going right. We just need to attack the bar path and we need to attack your unrack. And you're going to be on fire.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Good job. I can't hear you.
You can hear me?
You're like in and out. Can anyone else hear or is it just me? Start screaming.
I rushed to identify where my shoulder flex and my elbow too. So it's all to find where to stop it. I don't know if you hear me.
It's like when you get close and you talk loud, I can hear you. When you come away from it, it picks up and drops. Did you understand the cues and what needs to be done for next week? You did? Okay, then we're good. These are good. Look at that control. Nice, solid descent. Every rep looks the same. From the waist up, he stays nice and vertical. He's not folding. Benoit. Well
Yes.
done, lunges.
All right. I wanted to confirm them.
I've got nothing for you on these. These are great. Ooh, I like where those elbows are in that rack position, Benoit.
Yes, it's getting better. I feel much more comfortable. And for the third set, I used straps so that I be able to complete it because my wrists were like they were slipping off from the barbell.
That's okay. These are good. You have a slight forward drift coming out of the bottom, right there.
Okay.
See that? Bar comes forward, and then you fight back. So just keep that in mind. Try and keep that bar path nice and vertical. You'll be able to see it here. There. It makes this little half circle coming out of the hole. Bit, and then you come back.
Okay. Why is that?
I want you to think about when you're in the front rack, it's visually it's subtle. But I want you to do this with your arms and it's engaging that upper back.
When you say this, you mean pulling backwards?
Yeah. So I'm going to exaggerate it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So what it looks like from here is I'm just retracting that back and I'm keeping that as tight as I possibly can. When you're actually in the front rack and you're loaded, you can't go this far. It literally looks like this.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you're getting.
Okay. Thank you.
But I think that motion, when you sit down, will eliminate any sort of sponginess you have coming out of the hole. Because this is light enough, we shouldn't have that deviation. On like a high effort rep, I expect some deviation because we start to get technically imperfect because of the load. But this, you're strong enough to do that. We just need to get you doing it. And it's fine. We got you here. We have the rack position. We have the depth. We have your weight where it's supposed to be. We need to now attack that little bit of deviance coming out of the hole.
Pretty sure you're okay.
So we bring it all tight together.
Okay.
Being picky,
I think my mind is too much on my wrists because the front squat is new to me, but I'll get there.
That's the thing about new movements is it opens the window to thinking so much, especially with folks like you and Amelie, that your brains are going the entire time you're lifting, and always joke. I tell people, smooth brain, fast brain, think less, lift more.
Yeah. I think we want too much. There's too much will.
Yes, yeah, but it's good because I get to be picky with, whereas like you and Amelie, especially, like before it was we were revamping the whole package, right?
Yeah.
And now we have this collective good lift that we're now sniping.
Exactly.
We're plugging and playing. Just like Bonnie's doing with her squat now. We've collectively, her squat looked really good. Now we just need to keep attacking that depth, maybe throw in some little extra width. And we're these little fine-tuned adjustments now that we have a collective position.
Now, when you say coming out of the hole, so what should I change at the bottom of my position?
I want you to be conscious of where your foot weight is.
Okay, so I usually start and feel it in the front, but then after 3-4 reps, I try to put it more on the heel.
I want you midfoot and heel the entire time.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want, when it comes to any sort of squatting and deadlifting, we don't want really any serious toe weight. If our toes are doing anything, they're gripping the floor. Okay. But they shouldn't be toe heavy.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Good advice. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good. I want to see that underhand arm straight. That is very important. We don't want to put too much strain on that bicep. The pull was a heavy pull for you. This is good. The pull, look at that. See, you dip down to bend, and then you pull. See this angle? We want straight arms for two reasons. A, bicep strain or tear. Two, you're losing your arm length. We want as much of our arm length as possible to bring our shoulders as high as possible. We want to utilize that to our advantage leverage-wise. So, honestly, I think if we get your shoulders up, we get your arms straight, we get your hips ever so slightly lower, you almost RDL'd this. Because the leg drive isn't happening until there. And now you're already off the floor. The leg drive should be immediate. So, same thing I did with catch. I don't want you spending so much time down in this bend. I don't want you down here thinking for, let's see, you got down, you touched the bar. We're at 9 seconds. You are down there from 9 seconds till 20 seconds in on the video. You're down there for a while before you even pull on the bar. So I want to eliminate that. There's no, you gain nothing by being down there so long. It's harder to brace. It's harder to do so many things in a bent over position versus I have Catch is now to the point where he gets his air, goes down to the bar, grabs it, pulls in position, and he goes. That's ultimate goal. With that being said, I don't expect that out of you right now. But there's no reason it should be you're just bent over there for 11 seconds. You're thinking, I know you're going over your mental checklist, but you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot here. I want you to get down there. I want you to pack those lats, break the bar, pull in tension, set your hips, and go. We need to get our hips slightly lower. You're over the bar. Shoulders are past the bar. So you're out front of the weight versus the weight being out front of you. And it's because, A, you can lift so much more than this. Reason being that you're able to keep the weight behind your shoulders, your arms are bent, and you RDL'd this, which means there's a ton of leg drive on the table. So we need to get more leg drive out of your deadlift, which is why I want to drop the hips. Where's the moment right before you pull? Yes. We need to get your hips probably somewhere in here. So your shoulders come up and back. Basically, you're going to go like this with your body. Shoulders, hips, you're going to, and then your arms are going to be straight. You're going to snap the bar. And I don't want you to stand up with the weight. I want you to push the floor away from you. You're strong. We need to get you in the right position so you can be really strong. These are her
Plyometrics.
Isometrics.
Isometrics.
I was reading the caption. I was like, I don't see plyometrics is when you're like jumping around and stuff.
Yeah.
These are good. How'd these feel?
It felt good. I felt a lot in my obliques as I was really trying to brace, also to protect my back. But it felt good. I think I'd like to stay at the. Say again.
How'd the back feel after?
Actually pretty good. I was dealing with a lot of sciatica before this, and I don't know, it was either the leg presses that I did that popped something back or this, but today I don't have any sciatica, so I'm really
this is good. All right, so we're gonna keep these in.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep progressing these. You're gonna very slowly add weight. I want you to do a weight that you can do for a minute moving forward, and we'll try and progress that weight at that minute threshold.
Okay.
Because it sounds like these are doing good things for your back.
It is.
Good. I like how you made it work with those.
Yeah. It's a little funky, but it's okay.
Do you feel in your adductors squeezing the bench at all?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's all right.
Hanging leg raise. These are good. They can be pretty hard if you've never done them before. I want you to try and squeeze at the top and exaggerate the upside of the contraction. So I always, with these, as you get better at these, you almost can like roll backwards and do it as your core gets stronger. You can add tempo. But those are hanging leg raises. When you get really, really good at them, and you have the mobility, you can keep your legs out straight in front of you. I can't even do that just because of my hamstrings and glutes will not allow it. But I will do a slight bend and I will use my whole core to get my hips almost up to my chest line. So this is a very early start to these. This is what they look like at the very beginning. I want to see you squeeze at the top, and I want to see nice, slow eccentrics. We want time under tension with these. But Great start. Yeah, pretty good. With those, I don't want you guys to think coming out and around so much is creating a circle. I want you to think come up close and snap under and catch. It'll just take a little bit more off your lower back doing it that way, and you'll be able to do more weight in the long run. But
Hi,
the
Nick.
press is really good.
Hi, Nick. Excuse me. When I'm doing those, I tried not to like to make the movement that you just said, like turning around like this. So, but then now I've when I try to do it, I jump a little bit from the bench, like so. Of course, maybe you would need a video for that, but
You're trying to be explosive. That's all.
yeah. So that's normal. That I feel I jump a little bit from the
Yeah, you're
bench.
kind of like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's just your leg drive trying to leg drive. That's all it is. You can be conscious of that and either mitigate it. It's not going to make or break the function of the lift, in my opinion. The only thing that would come to mind would be if you do it too high and drop down, you might feel something in your lower back.
Yeah, no. But do we have to use more of the traps?
Yeah, think like, so like when you're doing a clean, even on a barbell, there's a portion of it where you jump and shrug. So
Yeah.
as you're coming up, you're shrugging so you can get everything. You're shrugging and then snapping through.
Okay.
Hey, Nick, on these, so I was curious if I'm leaning over too far.
No, not really, because you got to have some sort of lean to generate momentum. I mean,
Okay.
unless you are just swinging them and popping them up, which it's as long as you're generating power coming up, if there's a little bit of lean, that's okay.
Okay. I'd like to progress to doing it with the barbell, but I've been having some balance issues. So when I saw that this was a swap, I said, all right, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And
the only thing
they
for
felt
you
good.
is I'd like to see less of them coming so far out in front of you and more of that vertical flip.
Okay. So just keep thinking I've got the barbell.
Yeah. Keep
Or
them
like
close.
that. Okay.
Yes. Any motion that's not vertical is a waste of, this is going to sound harsh, is a waste of power.
No,
Right.
that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
These are good. Aaron, a little bit more squeeze up top. Think like 1/1000. Those are good. Yeah, that's a solid bend over dumbbell row. More rows. Clean and press. Good. You kept it close. With this, you want to be a little bit wider. Hands slightly more outside your shoulders. And you're doing what's called a one motion. So your clean's rolling right into your press, which means it is incredibly light for you.
Could use some sleep, otherwise I'm doing all right. How are you?
So with that being said, I'd like to see you accelerate, catch. Hey Eric, can you mute your, oh, there we go. Accelerate that bar up, snap under, catch, press. And you can strict press on a clean and press as an entry to it, because I'm someone who likes to teach from top down. So once we start the clean, you know what to do once you get in the rack position. But if you're not familiar with push pressing, strict pressing is totally fine when you're learning these. Josh back again for some deadlifts.
Nick, I have a comment from him if you don't mind me reading that real quick.
I think I saw it. Hold on.
You got it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I go through and I screenshot.
Daniel sent it to us on text too.
Yeah, I got it. So he says, I know that I'm doing something wrong with my trap bar deadlifts, but I don't know what it is. Should my butt hips be further back? Should my shoulders be lower? Should I drop weight until I get more comfortable with the form for what it's worth? I've never had any formal coaching and only started lifting a little more than a year ago. So I'm really figuring it out all through the app. Thanks. So I think he submitted one in the leftovers, maybe. I think it's this video.
He had one from when you did the leftovers, yes, but I think there was multiple when I checked the folder today, so I don't know, maybe this is different, but maybe not.
In a nutshell, yeah, we can get some better positioning here, Josh. Your position isn't bad. You're a little too far back. We want our thumbs coming up the side of our knees. You see how you come up off the ground? There's a subtle drift forward here. Right there. And look how you come down closer to your knee. This, where is it? Pause. No looking around, straight forward, neutral spine. But you come down in your position. That's your position. That's where we want to be. I like this position. We get leg drive. We're at a hip height where our glutes can do their job. This is where you want to be. Thumbs coming up the side of your knees. Look at this. Nice neutral spine. And then hips are going to come through. Boom. That's beautiful. That's where we want to be. So your reps are just inconsistent, but it makes sense. You've never had any formal coaching and reps after reps after reps, sorting that position, being aware of that position, and understanding what that position feels like is how you're going to get there consistently. So keep doing these form checks, man. You've got a couple reps in here that are significantly better than the rest. That one especially right there. You're hunting to find it, and you're close. The other thing, make sure you're bracing out into that belt. Big belly breath, core expands into the belt. I think I did hers in the leftovers as well. We'll see. I believe it's overhead press. Yep. So just because everyone's here, I have an audience. What she did really well is look at this bar path. She's pressing toward the back of her head. I don't mean the back here where the ponytail is. I mean like the crown. That's ideal bar path. This is really good. She's a strong presser. Squeezing the butt. Look at that. And look at this where she lands. Oh yeah, that's a grinder. Fists over hips. This is what triple extension looks like. So what her body's naturally doing is it's keeping this load over her hips, her power plant, butt squeezed, so there's no deviation down here, but we're stacked. It is a nice, good supported line in an overhead press. And her body's just naturally putting her there. So Candace, great job. Preacher curls, yeah, I did these. Straightforward, really can't mess these up. I say that. Probably shouldn't say that too loud. Because I've messed up some pretty obvious shit in my day. These are great. I mean, she doesn't need to go all the way down flat. She's getting full range of motion. She's keeping that elbow and that shoulder pressed down on the bench, and she's squeezing. Candace, the only thing I can tell you is a nice big squeeze at the top there. Otherwise, you're doing fantastic here. Shoulder press. Nice. Jonathan, I would say take your grip out a half inch on either side. Reason being is we're very tricep heavy. Look how our fists are kind of over our shoulders versus here. So your grip theoretically should be right where my mouse is. You're doing more of like a close grip variation. I bet you feel it in your triceps as well. Whereas we want the triceps to lock us out. We want the delts, the lats, the upper chest to be the big movers. That's where we're going to recruit a lot of our power. Otherwise, this is good. Feet aren't dancing around. Keep those feet in the floor. Let's just widen up your grip a little bit and see how that looks.
Thank you.
Jonathan, you've been ticking along nicely lately. Your progression is very apparent. So, I know we had some speed bumps with your squat, but collectively across your pressing, your hinge patterns, you've come a long way, and I don't want you to get discouraged.
Thanks, Nic.
Yes, sir. Ty's another one that's come a long way, especially from an injury. We're a little high, Ty. High, Ty. Sounds like a drink.
I think that's
Yeah, we're just a little high, man. I want you to pick your eyes up. I want you to focus on something on that shelf. Not up above you, but at about chest height. Find something there. I have spray foam insulation, and for a while, when I first started lifting at Never State, I drew a little angry face on the foam.
okay.
It's 5 foot in front of me, and that was like my target when I was squatting and deadlifting. So now I've stacked plates with a vertical PVC pipe, and I just noticed stare at the top of the PVC pipe sticking out of the plates for me personally. So finding a spot, a physical reference that is consistent and won't move, that stands out on this shelf, potentially because it looks like it's directly in front of you. I don't care what it is, but something around that chest height, as a visual cue to keep you from looking down. And I just want to get you a little bit deeper, man. Let's push for depth. Let's see. So, oh man, the play button. So if you look in the middle of the play button, your hips here, your knees here. We need your hips in a nice flat line with your knees.
Okay.
With that being said, because you have this rack, you can take a pin, like if you run pins through those holes, and you can hook a band behind you. And you can use that as like a touch marker, a physical feedback at depth. And you can submit videos of you finding that height too as well. We can be like, yeah, that's where we want it. No, that's too high. No, that's too low. So we can coach you into that depth as well. But your position in your squat looks really good. I like the neutral spine. The hinging is all what we need it to be. I don't know if you've tried wider or elevating your heels. Maybe we can play around with some of that to help depth feel a little easier. But I promise you, your legs are strong enough to go lower with that.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Thanks, Nic.
Cool. So we have some decent amount of flexion right here in the hole. But his overall position is pretty good. See those hips rise? So Paul, our hip position, your hips kick up right as you start to pull. Boom, you roll forward. That's your deadlift position. Somewhere in there. That's where your hip position is going to be. Now, I want you to start doing some cat-cows, some 90-90 flows. We want to get a little bit more hip mobility because we I don't want as much flexion in that lumbar here. I want to protect that a little better. So that tailbone turn to the sky, belly button to the floor cue, that's what's going to come into play with this. And I think that is it. So we can now move on to the Q&A. Yeah. So, all right, Gabriel, go ahead.
Hello. I have a question. With the squats that you saw, the front squat, and I had another set of squats yesterday. I'm not sure if it was because of the leg day on Tuesday when I had squats and front squats, but yesterday I had some strange like pain when I went down into the squat underweight. So it wasn't when I did body weight on the warm up, but when I added a bit of weight, it started being bad when I went like down within like the hips. I'm not sure if it's something I can solve with like a longer warm up because I'm doing the classic one in the app.
Let's back up. What kind of pain and where?
It's right, seems to be like in the joint where my leg connects to my hips. So it's right like at the end of
So your hip joint, like your pelvis.
Yeah, hip joint, yeah.
Yeah, it could. Does it tend to go away as you progress into the workout?
Well, on the squats it was there, I think. On the other side, other lifts, it wasn't present. But it's something that occasionally now, like after that day, I felt it even like walking around sometimes.
So in your warm up, and once you start adding in the 90-90 flow with the shin boxes, where you sit on your butt, knees are bent, and you rotate side to side with your knees like windshield wipers all the way to the floor. Pigeon stretch. Just go on YouTube, look up pigeon stretch. Stretch the glute out, stretch the hip. Stretch out those hamstrings and quads. All of those are generating tension going into it. And getting those nice and loosey-goosey prior. I mean, I spend 20 minutes before every single session just getting my body, I'd say 15 to 20 minutes between my whole static and dynamic stretching before I even get underneath the bar, just to avoid the aches and pains of warm up. And I know even then at that point, when I get under squats, my knees feel better on the last set still than they did at the first set. So it could be something as that simple. So if we start getting you in like, 10-second, three each side, 10-second holds on pigeon stretches, things like that, it might loosen some things up. And, when your quads are tight, creates tension, the hip flexors, hamstrings. I mean, quads can create, I had a locked up quad and it was surfacing in my glute because it was going through my psoas in the front of my body, which connects in the back of my body, which is pulling on my glute. The body's weird like that. So I figured if we take like kind of like a shotgun approach and throw the whole kitchen sink at it and hit the quads, the hamstrings, the hips, the glutes, collectively everything's stretched out and warmed up. So you might just need to do a little bit more in the warm up with the output that you're demanding of your body.
Okay, so I'll try the pigeon stretches and those.
Yeah, as long as the pain doesn't go past like a 3 out of 10, it should. I wouldn't lose sleep over it. I would just keep trying to expand that warm up.
Okay, I will try and let you know. Thank you.
Cool. Elise?
So I have a question about drop sets, and I hope I can explain this right. So because I can't lift. So say I'm doing a curl. I'm not starting out with a really heavy weight just because I can or my hands won't support it. So as I'm dropping down, my weight gets fairly light. And I guess what I'm finding is if I do the movement in rapid succession, I get a better burn as opposed to, if I get down and I'm doing it if I'm dropping and I'm doing, getting to like 5 pounds, I'd be doing it almost forever. So is it okay to do it quickly as opposed to the normal, normally I would try to slow it down and squeeze. Is that acceptable?
You can, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, any sort of eccentric tempo down will make it harder, will make the pump happen faster, for sure.
Okay.
Um, but if you banging out the reps gets the effort and the intention out of it, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tomato, tomato. You know what I mean? Ian, go ahead.
So it's not a question, Nick, but more a thank you to you, Ketch, and Adam for bearing with me last week. So the whole thing about what weights to use when I'm trying to do a strength block, this week I've just focused on trying to get good technique. And the PR that I did in the deadlift was actually after I'd done 3 sets of deficits. And it just felt good. And so and it was a stupid one. You know, I stripped all the weight and then realized that I was meant to have done a 4th set. And I thought, I'm just going to go for it. And I went for it and I lifted the PR. So, like I said,
There
it's
you
just a
go.
thank you because I know I'd asked you. I know I put stuff in the articles as well. But thanks for bearing with me. And I feel
Of
like I've
course.
got out of my
So
own head and back
for
on
everyone
track.
that didn't see the back and forth between me, Ian, and Adam, um, Ian's a little bit of an overthinker.
Love
Was
that.
complicating weight selection and things a little much for himself. But basically, we got him more basic. This is in lifting's intuitive. There's an intuitive aspect to it, and we can't be focused on the number from set to set, especially with how you guys are lifting within the app. We need to be focused on effort set to set. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Ian. I might remember incorrectly, but you were like, I can't maintain the weight. I'm doing less weight by the end. This is that a nutshell version of it?
Kind of. I was trying to pick a weight that I could do for all 4 sets.
Yeah.
And when it's
He
really
was
low
basically
reps,
being irked by him doing lighter weight on the last set than he was on the first set, which is if you're running at a high effort, normal. And this is why I tell people it's not there's rep ranges. If the effort calls for high effort, right? And we're using that last set mindset, and it's sets of like 6 or 8. And we're applying that last set mindset with like say 1 in reserve. You're not going to be able to maintain a set of 5 sets of 6 or whatever with 1 in reserve. You might get 2 sets out of it at that weight, and then you're going to drop weight, and then you might get 2 sets there. But it's with that 1 in reserve, that last set mindset, the effort's high enough that you're going to have to back off weight to maintain that effort throughout the whole set. So, like, sometimes you might get like a 3x3 on something. Yeah, that's going to be much more doable with 1 in reserve. The first set, you might have 2 in reserve. The second one, you might have 1 in reserve. The third one, you might only get 2, or you might hit the money with 3 sets of 3. So it depends on the weights. It depends on the sets, but the key determining factor is that effort. And what we did was basically got Ian to focus on the effort and the target rep range, and not so much about the weight being moved, the total tonnage. And I think he's sleeping a little better at night.
I think I'm actually performing better as well because I'm not in the gym worrying
Yep.
about what weight I need to lift.
I did the
I've got to
same thing
lift
with
heavy
Catch,
stuff.
and he knew better. He would get so chaotic about a set number and get in his head like, oh man, I can't lift that much. I did it for 3 the other day. Yep, well, welcome to fatigue.
So anyway, thank you guys.
Of course. David, go ahead.
Yeah, my questions are related to breathing and bracing and holding your breath when you're doing squats.
Okay.
All right. I think I've injured myself a couple of weeks back and I had to stop I do dumbbell squats. So I cut it out completely until things kind of settled down a little bit for me. But as a result of that, now I'm overthinking the snot out of everything. So I worked with a performance coach for a brief period who told me my form was good on those things, but now I'm questioning if I'm holding my breath at the wrong place as I go through it. You know, do you brace first, then you hold your breath, then you drop down? Do you pause and continue to hold your breath or inhale all the way down, exhale all the way up with no holding? Does that make sense?
Yes. So I'm gonna oversimplify this. When it comes to a squat, if you're standing at we'll call the start the top.
Right.
Halfway is the bottom because you still got to come up. If you're not at the top, you're not breathing. So if you're not here in a squat, if you're anywhere in between, you're braced. So if I'm here, and that goes for any compound lift. There's 2 points you breathe on the deadlift. Either at the top, like if you're doing reps, you can come up, down, pause, up, or you can breathe at the bottom. Bench, you breathe at lockout. Squat, you breathe at lockout. In a compound movement, you should not be breathing in between. The only time you may breathe at the bottom of a squat is say you have pin squats and the rep starts at the bottom.
All right.
But even those, I'll brace, do my first rep, come up, come down, and I'll just keep holding my breath on the pins, 1, 1,002, up, just because I can get much bigger of a brace at the top.
Okay.
So
fully brace all the way around, right? So you feel it expand all the way around. Inhale.
Yes.
And go down and hold your breath the whole way down. And exhale at the top.
Yep. And then
okay.
rebrace.
Okay. I know I'm overthinking it, but because of no, I started questioning everything.
If you're moving, you're bracing.
Okay. Yeah, the brace I feel good about. It's the breathing. I just started to question because I think I was holding it the whole time, and then I started to think that was wrong.
No, especially when it comes to squats, you only breathe at the top. While you're doing the rep, you're holding, you're bracing, you're creating that internal pressure.
Okay. Thank you.
Good question, man. Good job. Mindy. Oh, where'd she go?
Oh, I'm here. Sorry. Sorry I'm late. I'm sure you probably saw a squat and a hanging leg raise, maybe, from me today.
Yep.
So I just wanted to add that the squat that you did earlier in the week was like my very first return to barbell squat after my meniscus tear. So my PT advised me to do the box squat, which is why they were kind of shallow. So today I did a little bit deeper with the plates like you suggested and try not to like bounce off of the bench so well.
Yes.
Or so much. But I guess my question is, how do I continue to progress these? Is it better to go for more depth first or for more weight and then more depth?
More depth and more weight.
More depth and then more weight. Okay. That was it. Thank you.
Yep,
I'll go back and I'll watch your feedback.
We want the range of motion and the load.
Okay. Gotcha. Yes. Thank you so much.
The only time you'll see people like half squatting, box squatting is typically some sort of like track athlete where they still full range of motion, have full ROM squat days. But if you think about when like a high jumper preloads, they're not full squatting. It's typically in that half to quarter range of motion. So that's really the only like applicable thing I would ever suggest, that half squat. But for this, yes, we want to prioritize range of motion over load every single time.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Ty, go ahead.
Just wanted to ask really quick, just to clarify on the depth on the squat. How much further down do you think I need to go on that? Because I have a pin in there, and I kind of look at the video and like kind of readjust and see where I need to go.
I mean, like, you want me to give you like inches?
No, just like if you can remember the video, how much further down I need. I mean, you can.
Hip needs to.
As my wife would say, girl math it.
The hip needs to break the top of the knee. If I were to put a number to it, it was probably like 4 inches.
Okay. Yeah. So I need to go a little bit further to get that touch.
That hip crease needs to break that knee line.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. The best way to get a good view on that is like at like hip height from the side.
Yeah.
High or low can kind of give an illusion one way or the other. But if you're at your hip height, we have a good angle of the plane.
Okay, yeah, I'll video from there to kind of track and see what's going on and submit from there next time.
Okay, cool. Matt, go ahead.
Hey, how's it going? Two questions, I think. One definitely more, I guess, silly than the other ones. Not silly, but it's going through my head. First one is, say there's a set and the suggested reps is 8 reps. You pick a weight, you get to 7. You don't think you have any more. I think I've seen it different ways in the app, but how would you have us proceed? Like drop and get the 8th rep, or say like, yeah, you got close. Congrats, dropping.
Like in that set?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the set's done.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Like if you're like, shit, you just overshot it. That's all. I overshot a set last week. I moved on.
Well, I do it every day, I feel like. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, just making sure. But I feel like I've seen conflicting information. It's like, wait a minute. Let me just make sure I'm interpreting it the way the program's
No,
designed.
yeah, you're 100% on the money, man.
Yeah. Second one, this one's a little silly, but I finally invested in some more dumbbells. They're adjustable because I just didn't want to pay for fixed after fixed after fixed. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah.
Would you recommend, or have you heard, or the other way to ask it, have you heard any horror stories about anybody trying to do something with a goblet or maybe the pullover with those
adjustable dumbbells?
Yeah, with the adjustable dumbbell. I mean, this is basically a question about how often has anyone heard about the clip failing?
I haven't.
Okay.
Obviously
depends on the quality of the item, but it's like if
yeah,
you've heard of it.
I haven't seen any of them. I've seen is when they forget to put the clip on.
Well, that would do it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't. I got nothing for you on that one. I haven't heard of adjustable dumbbells. Are you talking about like the ones where you turn the thing and it's like a selector, or like you put the plates on?
Good question. Put the plates on, and it's one of the screw-ons, so it seems like it's got
So it's a plate
several
loadable dumbbell.
Plate loadable. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. No, yeah, there's a couple people in here that use them. I've seen on the videos. I haven't heard, and those are pretty beefy threads normally. It's typically a big thread versus like a fine thread, which is typically more durable. And if those come off, man, like you should get a warranty. That's crazy. That'd be wild.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't. I would die at that point, because it wouldn't be what killed me, but my wife's aversion to blood would be what eventually kills me.
Fair enough. Yeah, man.
Yeah. I see David in the comments saying this, like, okay, with the clips, which was kind of like the Rogue model. Like, I'm actually kind of glad I didn't do that because it's like the $1,000 more expensive. But like he says, the clips maybe have gone on him. But the screw collars he feels more confident in, and everyone else is like basically saying like they've used them or they've had that fear, or now I've just given them a fear. So anyway.
Yeah, you should be good, man. I wouldn't think too much into that, and I'll say that, and then we'll never see you again, and then we'll see you on the news.
Nah, I wouldn't make the news, but like, yeah, no. Okay, I feel a little better. I'm not going to hold you accountable. And hopefully my wife would know whom to discuss this with.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't have more.
No, it's good. Hey, I graduated and I needed to do something. Those pullovers are important. So,
Word.
thank you.
Yes, sir. Let's see. So I do have some questions from the app here. I don't know where I'm at in my photos. Oh, okay. So already answered April's. She was on earlier. Jonathan Mendoza, this is probably just a me problem, but the effort of converting the time from PST to GMT every time puts me off getting involved with the calls. I mean, there's Google. It does it for you. I don't know how to. It's puts it in chat GPT. I feel like you're taking the scenic route here, bud. Like, just that's how I do it. Like I Google shit and it tells you exactly. I'll Google time in Westminster, Maryland in Saudi Arabia, and it'll give me the exact minute in about 3 seconds. Tom Davies, my question is, I've been doing incline press up on my stairs, which are quite steep, and I get a lot of pain in my wrists. What's the way to strengthen them? The pull-ups or your wrists? Your wrists. Is there some sort of underlying condition that you have? Arthritis, something that carpal tunnel, some sort of thing causing pain. The best way to strengthen them, keep doing them. Gradually work down to less of an incline, is how you strengthen the push-up part of it. And stairs are great because you literally have your progression sitting there in front of you. You just work down gradually till you're on the floor. Followed up by Rory, what's your recommendation on push-up position progression? I've seen on knees, the floor, and doing push-ups off a bench. Is the goal to skim the floor? Rory, are you still in here?
I'm here.
What do you mean by skim the floor?
Okay, so a great example would be Amelie's push-up on Jen's call. She got so low to the floor, it was like you could maybe just put a piece of paper between her body and the floor. So is that the end game? I want my body to be skimming before I fully extend back up.
You can, but the typical standard is our shoulder line breaks our elbow line.
Okay. All right, so here's an additional question to that. I see some people have their hands more in the peripheral, and other people have their hands what looks more like.
I do them I would say kind of under your chin. So if you go here.
Okay.
So
and is your wingspan more comfort level, more just the way your body's built?
Wingspan does change things though. So if you go wider, it's going to be much more chest isolation like a fly. If you go super narrow, it's going to be much more tricep isolation. Think of it in the terms of bench press. The wider you go on a bench press, you're going to feel it like a fly. The closer you go, the more you're going to feel in your tricep. So ideally, we want like kind of our bench grip.
Okay.
Is where we're going to be at. As far as the progression, I'm not a fan of on the knees. I think it's a waste of time.
Okay.
I just went over it with the gentleman on the stairs. Stairs are a great way because there's your progression. You just work down. Bench is good. Plates. Working from incline down to flat is the best way, in my opinion, to progress a push-up.
Okay. So you've got the 8 push-ups in the warm-up sets, and it's like 6 months now. I feel like at number 5, I'm praying that I can get the next few in. I just don't have that strength there. So I'm wondering if I need to backtrack. And
so when you do that, do as many of that 8 flat as you can, and then finish the last ones on the incline.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, Daniel Eckstein. I'm using a home gym and don't have access to a local gym, thus I don't have a spotter. That's not a problem with deadlifts, pulls, etc., but I feel like I'm approaching a glass ceiling regarding squats and bench presses, not because I couldn't move more, but because it starts to feel unsafe alone. Is that something I should compensate with rack or something, remaining at the current safer weights and increasing the reps? Now, Andres and Ian and Eric all handled that within the app, basically saying get spotter arms, and they hit the nail on the head. If you're training at home alone a lot, a rack with spotter arms is an incredibly valuable and I would say, crucial piece of equipment if you're not able to spot yourself and if you're not comfortable dumping a bar. I when it comes to like front squat, I don't use spotter arms because it is the easiest position to dump a bar. Especially another reason why we do this grip. When you want to get out from under a front squat, you literally go and the bar goes away. Back squat takes a little bit more practice dumping. But if, say, you do like a safety squat bar or something that kind of locks you in, you're not getting out away from that. You're going down with the ship. So spotter arms on things like bench and squat are a really good investment. Make things a lot safer. I'd much rather see people using spotter arms and trying to dump a bar in any situation. I typically opt to dump the bar because I've had a lot of practice. And I do, unless I have people with me, some of the weight I squat will bend the bar if I fail onto the arms. And I don't feel like replacing a Rogue power bar. So I have a little quick get out of the way method. This is a do as I say, not as I do coaching moment. To be clear. Josh, we went over his. He was, yeah, we went over his. Alex Krazel, how should I do a warm-up set before doing the exercises from the program? If yes, what weight should I use? So I was going to answer this. Catch will be rolling out a warm-up guide within the app. Catch and Adam have come up with something. So they were gonna get me the app version and screenshot it before it comes out next week. Because they want people to use that. Apparently it looks pretty cool. But they didn't send it to me to screenshot, so I've got nothing for you. With that being said, when it comes to warm-ups and workups, I'm gonna put it in a very layman's terms. It is going to be person to person. Yes, I will actually be doing a video on workup sets and working sets today. After my workout in the gym, I'll be using a whiteboard. Not that you'll be able to read my handwriting anyway. But basically, we've seen a lot of questions on the difference in a workup. What is a workup? What is a working set? Now, a lot of the people in here, I feel like all have a big handle on that. So, but yes, there is procedures to working up, and it's not a one size fits all. For example, to put this plainly, I do not work up in the same jumps on my deadlift that I do on my overhead. I do full plate jumps up until 500 pounds on a deadlift. I'm not doing 90-pound jumps on an overhead press, right? I'm gonna do 135, then I'm gonna do 185, then I do 50 pounds typically up until like 235. And then I bring it back to 30 pounds. And then once I get over 300, I do 20 pounds. So like it's a scale. And that is what works for me in my nervous system. Now, coaching a mass person app is a little harder to tailor that to. But for those of you that are already turning and burning and know the difference and aren't struggling with workups and warm-ups and working sets, your jumps should never get bigger. They should stay the same, and as you get heavier, get smaller. Or stay the same all the way through, depending. We just don't want to burn out on too many early workup sets at a light weight where you have, say Rory deadlifts 250 and she has 6 jumps just to get to 200 pounds when she could get to 200 pounds in 4 and her nervous system is ready to go. This is where the intuitive stuff comes into play through time and reps, right? I know that when I'm squatting, I can throw on a plate, then I'm going to throw on 25s on each side. I'm going to bang out some reps at 250 or 275. Then I'm going to go to 315. And now my jumps are at 40 to 50 pounds up until above 400. And then they're going to get smaller. So that was just from time, reps, and so forth. And this is where not every answer in this requires an article, requires a source, requires a there's an experiment aspect to this, because I'm not under your bar, if that makes sense. And I really want to emphasize this because I feel people are very quick to go, hey, what weight should I be doing on my warm-up? I don't fucking know. Like, Ty, I don't know how much you squat. I don't know what weight you should throw on the bar. You tell me. It's on your back. It's not this, I'm not Chat GPT, right? And I don't want you to, I coach in a way to make people less reliant on a coach. And I hate coaches that make you reliant on them and think you need to come to them for everything. No, there's a big part of this is intuitive. A big part of this is, hey, I know I'm called a coach, but I'm just a guide. That's all I really am. I go, here's your path, follow this, and there are going to be stops along the way that are going to take some figuring out. But you're going to be figuring out the entire time you're on that journey. And your warm-up weight selection isn't necessarily going to be something you can read in an article. Percentage-based effort is a guide. RPE effort is a guide. A program is a guide. A coach is a guide. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want people to be so quick to go, I read this article that I should be doing X amount weight on my warm-up for X amount of reps. Yeah, well, have you met the person that wrote that article? No. Have they seen you squat? Well, no. Do they know how much you squat? Well, no. I'm like, so why would you do that? What's it based off of? It's the cookie cutter coaching is bullshit. I think, I'm kind of ranting at this point, but we're in an industry where people try to make money off of a collective group of people. And it's why I've never worked for an app before, because they're always geared around making money. But the articles that are in this app are geared towards our audience and the questions that come up within our ecosystem, not what's necessarily trending. Or if there's, a mass question on creatine, Adam's usually on top of that and is going to give you very objective. It's not you should, and you should buy this brand. Adam's going to go, well, yeah, we work with Momentous, but this is any sort of creatine source with X, Y, and Z is what you want. You know what I mean? So I don't want you guys thinking that you need a coach's permission or there needs to be an answer for every little thing and nuance you do in the gym. Sometimes just try it. And if you catastrophically fail, I hope you're recording so we can all enjoy it. That's pretty much how that goes. We have a saying down at Pastrana Land: if you break a piece of equipment, you better have the camera on so we can put it on the YouTube channel. With that being said, I've got nothing else for you. Is there any closeout questions? Yes, no, crickets, noted.
I said I have one real quick.
Oh, you got one. Okay, hit me.
So I was just curious if, when you have to take breaks in between, health stuff or whatever comes your way, do you recommend doing just getting red X's every day, or do you suggest pausing?
Pause. If it's going to be like like you're going to have this week and you've got life making it possible to do what you need to do, just pause it.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I get cortisone injections every 3 months, and so I wasn't sure if I do get one next week, if I should pause it. I wasn't really
Yeah,
sure.
if you can't lift after something like that for like a week or something, yeah, pause it, and then once you're good to go, resume.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Sweet. Anyone else? Yeah, we do got one. Lisa, go ahead.
Yeah. So I have a question about volume when you're struggling with cardio. So, I mean, my cardio kind of sucks, so I need to work on that. So in the higher, but I'm also struggling with allergies and it's giving me asthma. So when I have a high volume set, is it better to just drop the weights down real low so you can do the whole thing without stopping? Or to go a little higher in weights and then take like a break in the middle? Because I can't. It's my cardio that's
What
stopping
kind
me
of
from
break?
moving, not my muscles.
Like, you have a thing called a rest
Front
pause.
squats. It was, I'm sorry, what?
There's things called like a rest pause where like you might stop for 5 seconds and then go again.
Yeah, it's a little longer than 5 seconds. It's more like so I had 20 front squats and I had to stop for like 30 seconds in the middle of it, maybe a minute to catch my breath because I just couldn't catch my breath.
Okay. Yeah, I would do but you didn't feel like your body and legs and like your body could...
Right. My legs could handle it. It was just like I walked into the gym that day and somebody was wearing cologne and it set me off, so I couldn't breathe very well.
Yeah, like if it's something where you kind of know that it's going to be that way that day or that you feel coming on, then I would adjust. But if you're having a good day where you're not kind of hindered from that, send it. Feel free to play that. Feel free to play that by ear on a case by case basis when it comes to something like a respiratory allergy, asthma. I have a high school kid, a freshman who has asthma, and he always forgets his damn inhaler.
Yeah, see, I'm not that bad. I don't have an inhaler. It's just every now and then something like that happens.
Yeah, but this kid like has asthma. Like he's got no business going anywhere without that damn inhaler. And I would say at least 2 out of 3 workouts a week he forgets his inhaler. And I've got to completely adjust like the rep ranges and the challenges at the end of the day for him because he just can't breathe. So with that being said, take it case by case basis. Adjust when you need to.
Okay.
Hi, Nick.
Oh, is this did he get it? Yeah, sweet. Cool. We need to go over the video.
My video.
Yeah, let me look real quick here.
I'm sorry that I thought I uploaded it already, but
all good.
The problem with that is the bar is touching my sternum.
Okay.
And it's the first time I did it.
Let me take a look here. We can share.
My wife did that.
All right, let's see what we got.
I did the door step. I was nervous.
All right, so we're gonna take a little bit different of approach with your squats. Reason being is with the cerebral palsy, it is mainly a stability issue for you, and we want to gradually introduce instability. And it's a very gradual progression. Because with cerebral palsy, you're going to be eventually more stable under load than when you're not. So think about do you pour your own glasses of water and things like that? I'm assuming.
What?
Like a pouring a glass of water.
Yeah, yeah, I can do that.
So is it easier for you to do here, or is it easier for you to do out here?
In
Close?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to introduce what's called a Hatfield squat. And what it does is I want you to get used to first, without worrying about so much stability. A Hatfield squat is a squat variation where we're able to hold on to something in front of us and we squat. Because I want your body to get reps in the range of motion first.
Okay.
So you see that rack, typically, you can put some sort of bar or pins through it.
Yeah.
Or you can put does it have squat arms?
Yeah.
So you can put the squat arm and stand holding onto the squat arm. You're going to want to put it at about belly button height. So you hear squat. Do you have any sort of chain with a clip?
No.
So what we can do is I did it with Miles, my athlete with cerebral palsy, is we did a chain with a clip and attached a little kettlebell right here, right between his legs, beneath his junk. We kept it up and tight so he could squat. And we started with Hatfield squats. So it was a belt squat variation, and he would squat, and we just got him confident in the squat range of motion because I want you to get the range of motion first, and then we're going to introduce less and less assisted stability. So what yours is going to take a little bit more time and attention, and that's okay. I'm going to you're going to reach out to the customer service. You're going to submit a ticket, and Catch is going to link you with my email within the app.
Yeah.
And then I want you to keep submitting videos here every week if possible.
Okay.
So we can all see your progress because this is great. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of develop and modify a plan to kind of coexist with your cerebral palsy to eventually get you squatting.
Guys, I used to squat.
Yeah. Are you completely unassisted walking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I competed in 98.
You would what event?
Mr. Worcester.
Okay.
Mr. Worcester, which is they don't have it anymore.
Okay. All right. So you being unassisted's awesome. Because
I'm competing in three years.
Okay. Cool. So for those of you that don't know, cerebral palsy is a very broad spectrum. Chris, or Colin, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of bringing everybody up to speed. So Colin has cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is a very broad spectrum. So me knowing if he is unassisted or assisted in certain movements, walking, things like that, can help with my approach on what I do for him. Ideally, cerebral palsy clients, I prefer to be hands-on. Because it's just easier for everyone involved. But with cerebral palsy, you can have it in your arm or you can be completely bedridden and even have, typically when it's that severe, life expectancies are shorter. They talk to a computer. It is such a broad spectrum and there's so little known about the why it happens. And people even have it. But from what I've learned with Johns Hopkins, it's not that we make the cerebral palsy better. What we found is that taxing the muscular system and taxing their nervous system in that way has shown results in reducing spasms and the severity of spasms. and not necessarily made the cerebral palsy better, but we learned how to. The reason why I asked where he holds, how he pours a glass of water is so Miles, for him, how we tricked his body is we loaded it when he needed to do a task in a day-to-day life. So Miles, if he holds a glass of water here, it's going everywhere. Everything's going to be wet. But if I get him to extend and load this system, he stabilizes. And he is much more manageable. And he went from not being able to make his own meals to pouring his own glass of water, making a bowl of beef and rice, using an Instapot, things like that. So there's a reason why I asked the questions I asked with Colin, is because I want to figure out an approach to this. And Colin, you're going to reach out on a customer service ticket, and we'll communicate directly. And we will get you turning and burning. And I think it'll be cool to see you progressing, and everyone here to see you progressing. I think where you're an asset not only to this is for anybody that thinks they're having a rough go or this is getting hard. Remember, it can always be harder because Colin shouldn't be able to do this technically, and here he is. So suck it up, because Colin is.
Suck it up. Suck it up.
But that's all I got, Colin. We will continue to talk off of here. Everybody, I will see you next week on Wednesday.
Touch.
Thank
See you
you.
guys.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.